For good ideas and true innovation, you need human interaction, conflict, argument, and debate. This is why I've chosen to discuss debate today, and more specifically, explain the fundamentals of constructing an affirmative case in a policy debate. This is a style of debate where two teams advocate for and against a resolution that calls for a policy change. An example of a policy resolution would be, the United States should legalize marijuana for recreational use in all 50 states. I will continue to support this resolution as an example throughout this presentation. A policy case is made up of 5 stock issues that the affirmative team must address and support with pieces of evidence throughout the debate. First, a significant problem within the current status quo must be identified. For example, 10% of Americans smoke marijuana anyways. Second, what are the harmful effects caused by the status quo problem? In the case of marijuana prohibition, criminal activity increases. Criminals are making a profit selling marijuana instead of our government. Third, there must be some inherent barrier within the status quo preventing the problem from being solved. For example, the majority of society falsely believes that marijuana is the gateway drug. Next, topicality. This is where a plan of action that is within the resolutional framework is presented by the affirmative team. This plan can consist of up to 5 planks. Plank 1 is agency, which in this case would be U.S. Congress. Plank 2 are the mandates. Congress will pass a law permitting recreational use of marijuana in all 50 states. Plank 3 is enforcement. This plan would be enforced by the U.S. government. Plank 4 is funding. No additional government funding will be needed to implement this plan, and state governments will set state tax levels. Plank 5 is addendum, which in this particular case, and in many cases, is not needed. Lastly, there must be an explanation of how their plan will solve the harms that were presented earlier. For example, by no longer purchasing marijuana from criminals, criminal activity will decrease. Instead, it will be purchased from retail stores, causing the economy to flourish. Once the affirmative team has stated their case containing all 5 stock issues, the negative team has their opportunity to convince the judges that their opponent's plan should not be implemented. For this to happen, the negative team must prove, through refutation and supporting evidence, that at least one of the affirmative's 5 stock issues is inadequate, therefore convincing the judges that either 1. The problem is not significant, 2. The current status quo is not harmful, 3. There are no current inherent barriers causing the problem to continue, 4. The proposed plan is not within the resolutional framework of the debate, or 5. That the affirmative's plan will not solve the problems presented. Now that you know how to construct an affirmative case for a policy debate, use that knowledge to stir the soul of our democracy.